It is Ash here in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. I am not alone. I am joined by Big Papa Drock. Big Papa, what's up, man? Welcome back to the video, Drock. How you doing, man?
I am doing great, Ash, man. So good to be here, dude. And happy birthday, by the way. It was just your birthday, so I had to call it out.
What a guy. Thanks for mentioning it, Drock. I appreciate it.
Why, God, why? We had a deal. Let the others grow old, not me.
We have a fun video in store for folks out there today. Also, if you're not already a subscriber to Big Papa Drock, check out his YouTube channel. Some of my most favorite content on YouTube. With the caveat, though, that you need to upload a little bit more frequently, man. I mean, yeah. I know you got nothing better to do in life than just grind out uploads like the rest of us. So get to it, bro. Get to it.
Yeah. I got to pick up the pace. You're 100% right.
Gee, I'd love to, but what with my busy schedule and all?
No, I'm just joking. You still have regular content and you stream as well. So you check out Drock in case you guys haven't yet. Okay, man, we're here to talk about champions that either really impressed us or really let us down. So like, it's the game of expectations. We've done content like this before, but I'm excited to do one with you because I've never heard your assessments, and I got some new ones on my own in terms of champions I was just wrong about. So you're the guest, bro. Jump into it, man. Who's your number one on your list?
Yeah, I've got one that definitely disappointed me, and it's something that mainly because I thought he was going to be incredible, and then when I got him, I was really surprised. And it's Quintus from the Bannerlords. It's Quintus from the Bannerlords.
Yes, and Quintus.
Look, everybody can hypothetically get this champion. It's really hard, of course, because he's live arena.
Hypothetically, yeah.
Hypothetically, yeah. But when I read his kit before I got him, I thought that this dude would be absolutely in the meta, because if you look at his A2, he's got an ability that says he removes all buffs and it can't be resisted or blocked. But guess what, Ash? That's not true. Stone Skin blocks it, even though it says it right there in the A2. So it's just like, it's one of those things where his kit reads so great, but his damage isn't there, and his kit doesn't do what it says it's going to do.
Okay, I understand the frustration with that A2. So you thought it was going to remove Stone Skin, or 100% chance to remove Stone Skin, basically?
Yes,
it says it
100%.
can't be blocked or resisted. That's weird because you never really know until you try. And with a gate capped champion like this as well, you just don't know. So yeah, there's still like the chance that it's gonna, it basically negates away one of the best parts potentially, or what people were most excited about in his kit. And then the damage was lackluster on top of that. I will say though that in PvE, he's actually, at least for me, he's impressed me as of late. Centranos, Hydra, which is not what we thought this champion was made for, in the game. So it feels almost unintentional, but at the end of the day, like he has some niche use case, at least.
For sure. Yeah. I feel like he's not as bad in PvE, but man, he was supposed to be the unquestioned Taurus killer. Yeah. That was his goal. That was his job, and Stone Skin takes that away.
He still looks so cool, but I agree with you, man. Okay, good one. I'm going to stick with a... well, actually, you know what? I'm going to try to piss off everybody at the top of the video, right? I'm going to go with a whole category of champions that have largely disappointed me. And it's not the champion's fault, because frankly, a lot of these champions are really good. Ailil, Fina, Falmond, you can see where I'm going here. It's all these faction unity lords, basically, right? The ones that give the bonuses. Now, obviously, I'll probably give the exception here, the caveat that Legate is so good, Teox, that he's the exception to the rule here. But I think my issue is actually not the specific champions, because frankly they are really good, especially if you're able to fill your team up with these factions. But there's really two issues for me. Number one is there's no faction specific content in this game, or very few of it, right? There's faction wars, which is like great, like that's cool. But outside of that, which certainly not end game. Faction Wars can be end game content, like on your trajectory, but it's not new content. It's not like useful in the end game. So outside of that is some niche Hydra teams. But for your Hydra team with a Unity Lord to be better than replacement, right? It's like you have to have all the best champions in that faction, right, in order to pull it off and make it value over replacement. And then you look at other areas of the game like Live Arena.
Whatever.
Just ban the faction lord. You can't take advantage of any of the cool, abilities of a faction lord or a Unity Lord or whatever. This is why they could do so much in Live Arena.
Whatever.
I know people don't care about Live Arena, but like, you could add conditions where like, hey, Lord teams or something like that. Lords can't be banned. Like there's some things you could do there. Anyway, though, I think that overall, it's just like for the majority of the player base, is like you're not going to have all the best champions to pair with them, and it's going to give you the tough decision over, do I have to like dip down in quality of champion to take advantage of the Lord or the Unity bonus, which could be fun, you know, strategically. But I think that more often than not, you're just going to have better options for the majority of players, right? So my take is I like the concept of that. I really do. But I think that they should be like, each faction lord should be almost good within their pact to like bring the subset of champions, and then the strategic implications and possibilities a lot better as well, like way more choices. So like if I have Ailil, he's good with the Lord bonus in the Tolarian League, right? Because they're all allies anyway, right? I don't know. That also might push it over the top of being like too broken. What do you think about the whole thing?
It's, you know, I don't disagree with you, right? I thought they would be better than they are, but they're just really hard to use. And I think you're absolutely hitting the nail on the head here. There's really very little content. And also, again, like in order for you to have multiple champions like this, you're probably a spender or you've been playing for forever. So if you're somebody new, you're not going to have a bunch of different really good champions in each faction. Like Ailil on my free to play has definitely helped me. He's helped me in Doom Tower. I use him a little bit in Hydra, but I also am shoehorned into picking really bad banner lords to go with him because that's all that I have. So I agree with you. I wish they'd maybe make it a little bit more accessible.
They're so hard to get too, these guys. You know?
Oh, that's super hard to get.
I guess that's a big part of the issue, right? It's like, yeah.
Anyway, so I agree. They underwhelm me for sure.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, like, yeah, they cannot be summoned from any shard. So almost like, I don't know, maybe they're just whale only content. I don't even know what to say, you know, like it's a weird one, but then you have it on the free to play too. So it's like, I don't know.
Super lucky. I got super lucky. It was not on purpose.
I guess so, man. All right. You got that CC luck going on. Who you got next, man?
Yeah, they're boosting me, baby.
Everyone, follow me to the shelter. We've got enough food for 14 days. After that, we have a difficult conversation.
Just kidding. They don't do that. Trust me.
Let us know, by the way, not about CC luck, but let us know what you think about like the Unity champions. You know, what has your experience been like with them? Do you agree with me, or have you had a pleasantly, you know, positive experience with them? Who you got next, Rock?
All right, so this is maybe one that people are going to disagree with, but I don't care. I'll die on this hill for forever. I really am disappointed by Fatalis Blade Master.
I already had him pulling him up. I was already pulling him up.
You knew. Like, look,
I knew somehow.
This guy's kit is so good, guys. This guy's kit reads like an absolute dream. And when I saw him, I thought, oh my God, this is the meta in Arena. This is what I needed. This is what everybody wants. He looks incredible, but it's just, his damage is so bad.
I don't like when people are, what do you call it, happy?
It is. It just is. I know people will say it isn't. You're wrong. It is. It's bad. You can be angry at me all you want, but he just needs a little bit of a buff. I'm not, look, Ash, I'm not saying make this dude Taurus because he's got a good passive for survivability. I'm not saying that I want him to do Taurus damage, but man, I just want him to do a little bit more damage than he does because he can't really even use this like hit through stone skin ability to kill any kind of champion that is built with any kind of survivability. I mean, I've even seen like squishy champions survive this ability from him. So I love this dude's kit. I love his look. I just need him to have a little more damage. Please, Blarium, I'm begging you.
He looks awesome. I don't have him, so I really can't speak to him, honestly, bro. Like, and I'll never get my hands on him either, ever. So, like, he's really not on my radar that much, to be honest with you. But I do. But that being said, he had, I think I mentioned this on a previous video of ours. He did like whoop my butt so bad in the arena one day. I'll never forget. I was like, who's picking Fatalis? Because I say it with like a New England accent, Fatalis, you know? Like, yeah, man, he wrecked me. But I mean, who knows? It could be in God tier gear, or I could add squishy champions or crappy builds. Who knows, right? All I know is I'm not calling him S tier, but like, let me compare it to the next champion on my list that let me down, and that's Ailil. So I have Ailil, I don't have Fatalis, but I put them very in the same category in terms of they both have an ignore stone skin ability that should put enemies down, you know, but doesn't, at least in the case of Ailil. So before I get into why Ailil let me down, who would you rather have? Do you have Ailil? Do you have both?
I have both. Ailil has a really cool kit too. Fatalis' kit is better, and because of that alone, I think he wins over Ailil. But he, like, I agree with you. Ailil looks really cool on paper.
I agree, and that's why Ailil let me down. I'll be short and sweet with Ailil because I've talked about him before, but I feel like he deserves another buff. what I want to talk about, Ailil, is we all know the A2 that should be the cool, highlight of his kit, ignoring stone skin, strength and increased defense and ally protection. If you kill the enemy, you get a stone skin, the whole shebang, a full heal. It's awesome, right? Like, we all know that doesn't hit hard. But like, what really misguided me about this champion, my expectations on this champion, or how good the rest of it, his A1 and his A3 are, and his passive. Like, his whole kit is like, man, if you didn't know about that A2, you'd read and be like, damn, this guy's the new meta definer. And we actually thought that when he was, before we saw him in game. First of all, stealing all buffs on the first time he hits them, they cannot be resisted. Just like what's his face, Quintus, it can be, it's a 50-50 shot on stone skin removal, right? But it can still steal stone skin, which is amazing, right? And then after that, your damage will be increased. It's a really nice ability, right? On the A1. It's nice to have that the first time you attack somebody. The A3 is super cool. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but you're removing increase, decrease, increase with a decrease, strengthen with a weaken, block buffs on the attacker, not under the increased defense and strengthen. And then nothing can be resisted there, which I love. Like, again, the whole shebang can't be resisted. And then he's got like this cool increases champion's HP and defense by 100 for every 1,000 attack they have, which is really cool. Fills the champion's turn by 10% whenever they receive a buff with no cooldown. So like, that allows you, as an arena player, that allows you to put him like a slow ultra damage build and get those buffs like over the Necret or whoever to like get up to where he needs to be. So like, I guess what I'm trying to say here, man, is this guy could be so freaking good. His kit is so cool, unique, and honestly is a perfect kit for a nuker, except for the whole damage thing.
Yeah, you're so right with this. Like, even just rereading his kit, I'm like, wow, he really does have a sick kit as well. But his damage is trash. I mean, just straight up trash.
It really is. What a bummer. All right, who you got next, man?
Well, I got some that I think are kind of like the opposite of what you're thinking, where these are champions. Yeah. These are like positive takes. Yes. This is a champion that I didn't think would be as good. Okay. And then I pulled them and I used them and I was so wrong. They're way better than I thought. And I'm going to start. This is an interesting one, but I really didn't think this guy would be good. It just goes to show that sometimes I really miss the mark. And that is Firrol the barkhorn.
You know what? You're not alone on this one, dude. When I saw Christmas Tree, I was like, yeah, all right. Before I saw anybody actually have, like, when they announce these champions before anybody actually has them in game, I was like, cool that they added a Christmas Tree character, but he's not really that good. And it turns out he's just one of the best champions in the game. No big deal.
It turns out he's incredible. And like, I think it really stemmed from the fact that, okay, I'm obviously an endgame player. I played the game a long time. I've got tons of block buffs champs on my main account. So when I read his kit, I was like, oh man, another block buffs champ. It's like, he doesn't even strip. Like, who cares?
Like, this guy doesn't Veil, like, so does Duchess. Who cares? Yeah, like,
who
whatever,
cares? What I didn't understand and what I really should have focused on was his passive.
Yes.
And not the first part of his passive or even the second part of his passive, but if an ally is under 4 or more buffs, also increases their damage dealt by 20%. Well. Surprise, surprise. This is buff Shadow Legends, where everybody has 1,000 buffs on them. So you get this going in Hydra, and suddenly your team is absolutely obliterating Hydra heads. And I didn't get it. I didn't see it. I was so wrong. He is really, really good.
Well, this is where just damage can scale exponentially. It's like those compound dividends, right? It's like, why is everybody telling you that you should invest in the stock market and leave it for 30 years? It's because that compound interest. And that's how it is with buffs and Raid Shadow Legends, right? It's like, it's that you get the 20% extra damage from a passive as broken as this, and then you keep those buffs on there, and you jack up a couple protection sets, and you get another 30% or 40% extra damage, and then you add in a Firrol set, and you're getting more damage off of your debuffs. Next thing you know, you get like a 50% plus damage boost off of all these extras, which is like 2 weakens permanently in the battle. Like, I mean, I don't know how to articulate it other than that, but like, I agree with you. The way this game is going is getting that extra damage, and man, Firrol just has it built in, and it's just in an aggregate. It's not like just one champion or any, it's everybody. It's insane. So even your support, like quasi damage, you're still getting 20% more out of them too. It's great.
Yeah, everybody and every ability. And it's just, oh, he's so good.
Okay, I agree with you, man. Okay, I wish I had him, but I totally agree with you. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go your neck of the woods here, a champion that this is actually a little bit different. I wasn't down on her, right? I went for her. I was enthusiastic, excited about getting Eostrid. But man, she is going to go down in the record books for yours truly here in terms of a champion who I thought would be good, but oh my gosh. It's like, I'm sure everybody does this, right? So you're into Hydra or any other teams, but you kind of play the value over replacement game with your own teams. You're like, okay, I'll put this champion in and leave him in for 20 turns, and I'll compare the damage with this champion in that slot, you know? Just trying to optimize your team a little bit. And like, it's so difficult for me to ever replace Eostrid as being like the top option in a variety of different slots, like in my curse set slot, in my increased speed champion, in like a flex slot on my team. She just brings the extra turn on the additional in the buffs that helps the buff uptime basically be forever, you know, 3 turns with the extra turn, you build her fast enough. She brings the decreased speed, the weaken. I mean, it's weird because you look at her kit and it seems good. But then you put her in battle and she's great, you know? She's almost like, for me, similar to Lady Kimmy, but better, right? Because Lady Kimmy's kind of one of those other champions for me that like, yeah, I don't know exactly what it is. I think it's just bring the decreased speed and the increased speed on one champion, you know? But like, she's just always better than value replacement. But Eostrid is even more acute than Lady Kimmy for me. What do you think?
Yeah, dude, I love this champion. I was lucky enough to I think I got her. She's Fragment or Fusion on my free to play. Yeah. Oh man, she's in so many teams for me. She is all over the place. And you know what? Sneaky good things about her though, Ash, dude. She can nuke. Like she does.
Yeah. She can deal some damage for sure.
She does damage. Yeah. She hits way harder than you'd ever realize, and she has this like incredible kit. So I love this champ.
One of the fastest champions in the game, 115 base speed. She can deal damage to your point. She's just like, I don't know what to say about her other than like, she got the double turn meter manipulation, you know, the turn meter fill, the turn meter decrease as well with that extra turn. Being able to all in one turn, increase speed, increase attack, turn meter fill, decrease speed, weaken, turn meter decrease, and an AoE nuke all in one, like, you know, back-to-back turns because of her ability. It's insane. I thought she'd be good. I didn't know she would be like S tiered. I really mean that. So there's Eostrid. She really surprised me at how amazing she was.
Yeah, I love her. I love her so much.
Any more for us here on your list here?
Yeah, I got a couple. I got a couple more that really surprised me. So this one, okay. Let me just caveat this because I don't want people to think the wrong thing here.
Okay.
I knew this champion would be really good. Just reading his kit, I knew he would be really good.
Okay.
What I didn't understand is how really good he'd be in arena. Way better than I thought, to the point where he's absolutely in the meta, and that is Odin.
Okay.
I really didn't get.
I like how you went with a nice free to play for the audience there, Drock.
Okay, so thank you so much for wasting my time.
Yeah, I went super free. Yeah, really. They already hated me. Now they're gonna hate me even more.
I also don't like Star Sage Galathea.
I've got a champ that also surprised me that isn't as ridiculous pay to win as this. I promise.
No, I'm kidding, bro. Because I'm in the same boat as you. I'm in the same boat.
So here's the thing. The reason why I didn't get that this guy would be so good, there's 2 parts of his kit that I didn't really understand.
Okay.
First and foremost, his aura being 40% for voids.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes more of a difference. And it's because like Live Arena's become a giant speed fest more than ever before. Everything's a speed fest more than it's ever been at the high end for Live Arena. And that 40% aura does actually win you speed battles.
Oh,
and there are so many good voids. Like, yes, there are mythicals out there that makes it tricky, but at the same time, there are still really good voids that can factor into high level arena. And that speed aura by itself is a game winner right there. But the other part of his kit that I really underestimated because of how it lets you build him is his A3. And here's why. It ignores 100% of the target's defense, right? So it's basically like an executioner's explosion. It can revive people. So in a pinch, Odin can be your reviver.
Yeah, he's a little Lazarius vibe going on there a little bit.
Little Lazarius vibe. But what makes it so special is the fact that you don't have to build him with super high attack in order to make it work, or super high defense or HP or any of those things. And so what you can do that makes him so dangerous is you just build him with 100% crit rate, you build him with a ton of crit damage, but then you put everything else into speed and accuracy. And now this guy is taking a turn and going first, stripping everybody, stunning people, and pinpoint set makes polymorphs less of a threat. And then, oh, by the way, he can be your damage dealer as well. Like, you can put him on a team with Rotos to take out a UDK, where maybe Rotos can't hit the UDK, but guess what? Odin is void. There's no affinity problem. He will nuke a UDK because the damage is based off of UDK's defense. Like, he's filthy. He's so good.
I agree with you 100%, man. Everything that you said. I mean, the things this dude does is just, it's insane. Like, even the block damage is like so, it's like something that you never count on when you have on your team, but it's just like whenever it pops up, you're like, oh yeah, thanks Odin, that was awesome, you know. Like, and I agree that the A2 is so disruptive, and I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, where this game is going, especially in the end game, right, is finding champions that can do a lot of things very well, like in one champion, right? That way you have your bases covered. It gives you more flexibility, and he does have the fact that he has that sneaky revive in there. With the damage, he can be your nuker single target with all that control. Like, it just makes him really hard to get away from if you're lucky enough to have him. I agree. All right. Who next? I'm gonna go with. This is a champion that I might throw a curveball at you here. I made a whole video about this dude, about how he impressed me. I think he was a fusion as well, but I didn't go for him. I pulled him after the fact as Crok'mar the Devourer. Do you know anything about this dude, the big fella?
I faced him once in arena, and he was actually way better than I thought.
Dude, this big alligator dude is actually, or crocodile, I guess? I don't know. This guy's amazing, man. Like, listen, amazing for what he is, right? He's an HP-based, basically damage dealer. That's basically it. He's like all out damage, right? And man, here's the thing. I don't know if you get this too, Drock, when you're playing, but like, there's just like once in a while, there's like a type of champion that are just like way tankier than they should be according to the stats. Like I just know they're going to be a pain to kill. Like Pythion, for whatever, is like that with me, right? Like, yes. I don't know why, but like he's always just tankier than I think he's going to be. He has that passive too, and he's tanky in general. But Crok'mar is the same thing. Like this dude, I first used him for like one of these Centranos, you know, the thing I'm talking about, the stage with the Marichka and the Tauruses, right? And he's in one of those rotations, like he's on one of the teams, right? And he's got 2 AoEs. I'm like, stun set, perfect, great, you know? But man, like he can take like 10 A2s from Taurus to the face, barely do a little sliver of HP off of him, man. He's like so tanky. First of all, that's the cool thing. He's HP based, so he should be. He's bringing increased crit rate, increased crit damage for 3 turns on all allies with the extra turn ability, right? Kind of like a little Gizmac thing going on there, right? Goes back with the extra turn, comes in with a big A2. He's healing him. He's healing himself. He's shielding himself. Very selfish. But man, he's doing some big damage. And then he's got another AoE on the A1. So like this guy's just a straight up AoE machine. He's also decreasing the target's attack or defense and resistance and accuracy with every hit up to 30%, which is like a super underrated, cool little passive that he brings too. It makes everybody weaker across the board in 4 categories. Crok'mar, is he like the end game, like, you know, beast, best champion in the game? No, but Ben, I am such a believer. I went from someone who couldn't give a crap about this guy to like, wow, he's one of my favorite dudes out there. This guy's like a beast. You can obviously throw him in a curse and Hydra as a damage dealer or whatever too. There's other utilities or just a stun set, but man, all around, I was really impressed by his damage, his survivability, and just overall champion. Simple but cool.
He's sneaky good, and I know that when I faced him because someone put him in a Necrit, and he was just every ally attack, he was pounding my entire team.
This guy on a Necrit, like good luck killing him, man. Like he just, you know.
The dude was an absolute tank. I agree. He just takes it he just takes it in the face and keeps on chugging.
I don't know what they did with him. This like some secret code or whatever, but like
I want him so badly because I'm a Florida Gator fan, so I really want him. I do not have them.
I was actually I didn't want to like out the vicinity of like where you're from, but I was like, you must know more than I do about crocodiles and alligators. Which is he, Drac? And I could say,
yeah, exactly. He's probably a crocodile just because Crok'mar, but I want him to be an alligator because as a Gator fan, you know, I love the Gators. So there you go.
There you go. I don't even know what the difference is, but whatever. Okay. I digress. Let's move on. Who you got next?
I got one more, and guys, this is free to play friendly. I swear to God, no more absurdly, pay to win champions.
Siegfried's, what is it? Siegfried's?
Yeah, Siegfried. You guessed it, Ash. Well done.
You were let down.
Yeah, I was let down by Siegfried.
Why are you including me in this?
All right.
It's okay. I've talked about this champion on your channel before, but she really did surprise me with how good she is, and that is Juliana. I pulled this on the free-to-play challenge, and I read her kit, and I thought, okay, like 4-turn cooldown, 3-turn cooldown for some of her abilities, like doesn't really seem that necessarily overwhelming. But man, she's good. Ash, this champion is good.
I made the mistake of actually taking the opposite opinion on her once without ever properly using her enough, and then I was very wrong. I had to make a whole apology video. So it's a very soft spot on Juliana for me.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I know what you're talking about though.
She does good damage. Okay, let's start with that. She does good damage. She's a clan boss champion for sure. Like, yeah, she's all single target, but she's awesome for clan boss, which is so good when you're first starting the game, or even when you're in the mid game trying to do stuff. She's got poisons, which again is great, especially for a lot of different pieces of content. And then the thing that's underrated about her is she puts a 3-turn HP burn debuff, right? Only a 75% chance until it's booked, and then she gets up there. But what I love about her is she can strip buffs, and she strips every single buff. And that is so valuable in this game. So I just feel like her kit was way better than I realized, since her damage was way better than I realized.
Yeah. I'll say this, man. She's like, she can place the burn and the poison, right? So unique to have both of those on an epic champion. And, I didn't know this, and I'm not sure if you even realized it, but I certainly didn't. But on Lethal Partner, her A2, it should read, she's attacking a target 2 times. Each hit places a poison debuff for 3 turns. So it's not 1 but 2, and for me that's a big game changer, because it's a 3-turn poison on a 3-turn cooldown, so 100% uptime, big poisons on that A2, really strong, and the burn lasts for 3 turns too. So yeah, man, I mean, she's a lot better than I gave her credit for too. It's a good call out.
Yeah, I love her.
All right.
I love her.
I'm going to go kind of free to play too, but the opposite direction on this one. I've talked a lot of smack about Ailil, so I'll lay off her on this video because she was even worse than I was expecting. But despite me pissing off the fan club out there, I apologize, guys. But actually, Rathalos was a lot better than I thought he was going to be, right? Especially over time. Sometimes you're just going to marinate on these champions a while, and just like, and then you kind of come around, you kind of oscillate between giving them a shot and maybe restrictive content, then they impress you a little bit. Always the stocks are going up and down on my champions, right? And Rathalos, his stock is going up as of late for me. Like, it's kind of one of those value over replacement things, right? Like, even random areas like Cursed City. I don't know if I have like the teams I was using up last night with him, but like, he was just consistently doing more damage than like other like Constantine or whatever. Like, I was just testing him out against others, and Rathalos consistently just being my DPS lead in several different like challenging floors. So I was just like, man, this dude is just, he can nuke that A2 especially, man. It was this S18 or whatever. He was out damaging like everybody else I would try, and man, I was just really impressed with Rathalos' damage. And I know, I know he's a beast in areas like Hydra Clan Boss as well. I just feel like if you're looking for damage in PvE content, I feel like he's A+ tier, maybe even in the S- category. And even in the arena, since everybody got him for free anyway, I feel like he's very serviceable for just like Great Hall farming, just, because having that red affinity nuker is going to be valuable inherently anyway. So like, I think that overall, man, he's a little bit better than I thought he was going to be. Like, even how hard that A2 can smack, What do you think about that, champ? Yeah,
he's my free to play hard carry. The dude is just, he carries my free to play.
Got you, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want ignore defense. He's got you. That's so important. You want, placing a guaranteed decreased defense on bosses. It's again, like, it's just, his kit is better than I realized. His damage is definitely better than I realized. And what's great about him is he's usable in basically every area of content. And when you're thinking about, you're not a big spender, you're free to play, that's really what you want. You want someone who's going to be versatile. They can help you in a lot of different areas. This dude does that. And I am not kidding when I say that he is the sole reason I'm able to progress in a lot of cases on my free-to-play. When I was doing the free-to-play challenge, he clutched so hard for me on Doom Tower when I was trying to get past certain bosses to get higher up that ladder for more points. I think he is definitely underrated. He is really good.
Yeah, man, maybe he is properly rated because people have him and probably have a similar experience as you. But like, at least for me, speaking personally, like, he's just one of those champions that maybe I did subconsciously kind of discount him as like a freebie and like, whatever, you know. But then the more I played him, like, wow, he can like deal top notch damage. So I think that was it for my list as well. I feel like I probably praised a little bit more champions I'm comfortable with here. I want to like talk a lot of smack about champions, but at the same time, I did throw shots at every single one of the lords or whatever, the Unity guys out there. Anybody else that we didn't mention? Any final words on your end, Rock?
I can't think of anything, but I'm sure the comments and the viewers will have many ideas. Indeed. And I'm so sorry, guys. Don't hate me.
Fatalis again, this guy. I'm just joking, man. Dude, we love having you on the channel because we want people with actual opinions to come on here, man. We want some stuff to talk about, right? I don't want pandering here on the channel, you know. But hey, perfect time to go ahead and check out Druck's channel, excuse me. Great content on there, streams on there as well. I'll have all his information in the pinned comment in the description below. Let's go ahead and give our guests some love, guys. Druck, any like subscriber goals can we get you to? We had a guy Brunt on the channel. It was really fun a few days ago, and I think we got him to like his subscriber goal. So why don't you try a goal? And yeah, why don't you just put you on the spot? But why don't you go for it?
Okay, this is I don't. What
are you at right now?
I'm at just over 17,000. I don't know if it's possible to hit 20. That would be the big one, but
let's aim for it. I mean, it's my fault though, because we said at the end of the video, like, there's only 3 people watching at this point, bro. So maybe you'll get 3 more subscribers. But let's try to get them. The 3 of you still watching. Let's get over there. Let's make it happen.
Every viewer matters. Yeah, that's the next milestone. But you've been a huge help with that, so I appreciate you, Ash.
Nah, man, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to have you on. Thanks so much for coming on, guys. Thank you for watching till the end, and as always, take care, guys.